Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show, both on Instagram right over here and on Facebook and YouTube. Please make sure to let me know where you are joining us from. I cannot wait for our guests tonight. I know you guys see me nerd out. Tonight I am going to nerd out. It is going to be kick-ass. My guest and I have such a freaking energy connection. You will not want to miss it. And if you want to share this with other people and you are on Facebook, please go ahead and start a watch party because this is going to be too good for people to miss, and they're not going to want to miss it. If they have to miss it, make sure they can tell them that they can get it on YouTube or come back to the Rachel Freeman Sowers Facebook channel and they can watch it there. But I want to share tonight. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But first, okay, I have to stay focused because, my ADD is going to kick in. Really quick before we start and while people are logging on, if you are here, please make sure to say hello and where you are joining us from. Deborah's on here, Facebook and YouTube. Dang, girl, I saw your video this morning, and seriously, did you see all the views? I keep telling you, video is a number one. So that was a great job you did on that video. If you ever want to know how to replace the edging around a wood stove, check out Deb's video because it was good. All right, so if you are a female entrepreneur who is looking to leverage and fully leverage the power of video in your business to build that confidence on camera, to attract and grow your audience in the fastest and most efficient way, I want to encourage you to join my Facebook group. It's called Visibility and Video Mastery for Female Entrepreneurs, and I am going to just stick it right here in the chat. If you haven't joined yet, we would love to have you in there. It is all about, what is it about? It is about gaining that confidence, learning the skills, and a safe place to practice. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to jump into this interview. But first, before I have our guests come on screen with us, I want to tell you a little bit about her. If you have heard of her or seen her jewelry, if you are watching this live, I'm telling you, this is her jewelry right here. And don't think it's the only piece that I own. She talks about a 1940s chandelier, and I have that piece because I was like, girl, I need that, because she set it up and I was like, bam, that is me all the way. So give me some thumbs up and hearts if you're excited to be inspired. Hey, Eric over on IG. Eric is my accountability buddy. And although he's not a female entrepreneur, he's an entrepreneur, and I love him so much. So hello. All right. My guest tonight is Kimberly Boney of HerStory Vintage. I'm just going to read her bio to you. Kimberly Boney is the founder and owner of HerStory Vintage. She is a writer by profession and a fashion designer. She started HerStory Vintage in 2008 and has nurtured broken barriers and helped hundreds of women feel free to express themselves by the clothes they wear and the jewelry they adorn. HerStory Vintage is a decidedly feminine take on handcrafted vintage, upcycled and repurposed jewelry and fashion. So I would love for all of you, even on Instagram, to help me welcome her with all of the thumbs up and hearts as you can muster with that finger of yours. All right, so here she comes. Hello, Kimberly.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. If you haven't started the watch party, start it now, because other female entrepreneurs are going to need to hear this. I bought these earrings at Roses and Rust here. How many years ago was that, Kimberly?
It's either 2 or 3 years, maybe more than that.
Maybe
it might be more than that, because I want to say it might have been 3 years ago. It's hard for me to remember exactly when, because time waits for no woman, as they say.
Yes. Yes. And I saw these and I met Kimberly for the first time. I was like, these are fierce. I need them. And then I was like, okay, now I need a matching necklace, which I bought later on. And our relationship has grown. I've also been in the Reading Fashion Alliance fashion show, and I've seen your, what would you call them? Your garments or your fashion?
They're the HerStory t-shirts, the denim upcycled denim collection, and I paired it with Robin Fader's tulle skirts. They're amazingly paired with those. And I would call them fashion accessories because they are, they're something you can kind of wear with a little bit of everything, I would say. So even the t-shirts are still you're still able to accessorize those with so many different things. So we'll call them
right. I know. Huh? It's a lot of work. I've asked you a couple of questions, and I want to go through some of those questions. And I just want to have you share your experiences in business, what you've learned, the great parts, the hard parts, the inspiring parts. And I just, before we continue, just want to say thank you for being my guest tonight. If you know Kimberly, please make sure to say hi in the comments so that we can know that you know her. Give her some hearts so she can have some love on the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show. All right. So in the intro, we talked a little bit about how you started your business in 2008 here in Redding, California.
Yes.
So kind of let us know your journey from then up until now.
So I opened my business probably at a really hard financial point in the country, but I opened it because it was in my heart to do it, and I did it. And I ran the business in what is now kind of being restructured as the downtown area. That downtown corridor is under construction now, but at that time it was my little tiny storefront. And I loved it. It was home. It was a haven for not just for me, but I think for a lot of women that just needed to connect with other women. And that was the place that we did that. So I had the blessing of having that shop for I think just under 3 years. And then my husband and I got pregnant with our little boy. And we decided, as much as I really wanted to continue having that storefront, I couldn't be 100% mom and 100% business owner in that capacity. So things had to change gears a little bit. And so I closed the store, had my son, and kind of felt a little while like I couldn't find my groove again as far as figuring out exactly what to do. It took me a little bit of time. And before the store closed, I had started designing jewelry again, which I did as a kid. When I was about 11, I started and used to sell them at a craft fair at our church. And so I had a passion for it, and I reintroduced that in my store. But once the storefront closed, the jewelry had more time to emerge, had more space and opportunity to kind of come out of its shell a little bit. And I started making more jewelry at home and, whatever spare time a mom has, which is slim to none. But I started doing that for fun as a nice break, and started hosting homemade or home jewelry parties, and started being a vendor at Roses and Rust and Chico Antiques and Design Fair. Actually went out to Alameda a few times as well, went out to Oakland, Pleasanton. I've done quite a few of the local markets here. Also Mercy Hospital that normally hosts theirs. I've been a part of that. Have sold my store, my vintage items and vintage jewelry in a few different locations here, including Enjoy the Store, Reading Fashion Alliance, Highland Arts Center up in Weaverville, Bless Your Heart Mercantile in Orland, and also Enjoy the Store in Red Bluff as well. So it's been a little bit of a, kind of a mixed bag as far as how it's been sold. But as of, let's see, oh my gosh, that's a year and a half ago already. Time is again on warp speed. But I launched my website in June of 2019. So it's been a year and a half. And it's been fun and amazing and exciting and challenging. It's taken me through a full gamut of emotions. And as a girl that is not a tech savvy person under normal circumstances. It's taught me a lot. So I've kind of had to learn some different techniques, try different things, see what works, be willing to let go of what doesn't, and just keep pushing, I guess, however you can,
Yeah. So if you are a female entrepreneur on here and you can relate to Kimberly's story, just that little teeny bit, and a lot of us can relate, even in the last 6 months, 6 to 7 months now. I mean, how long has it been? Make sure to put a yes in the comments, because this is kind of the life of an entrepreneur. There are constant pivots. There are constant reassessments, and there is really tapping into that knowing within you to what your next best step is. And everyone can be saying, do this, do that, do this, do that. And yet you have to know your own knowing and follow that direction and your own path. So tell me a little bit about, in a little snippet, what does HerStory Vintage stand for?
So it initially, I guess it's kind of got a duplicitous meaning, we'll say. So I'm a freelance writer, and I've always loved writing and storytelling. I've always felt like, if we can just share our story with somebody else, share that connection with somebody, you really get to know somebody better, and you can open your heart to them and they can do the same for you. In a lot of different settings. But so when I first had my shop, I had a vintage collection of clothing and accessories. And I always thought these pieces all have their own story. A different woman has worn them at a different point in history. Who knows what she saw, what kind of person she might have been, what things she got to witness in her life. And somehow those stories are part of that, the history of that garment. So I had that vintage collection, and then when the store closed, I carried on a little bit of the vintage clothing in some of those other venues that I was mentioning. But it really kind of came to form a little bit more deeply in my jewelry, wanting to find a way to reincorporate older pieces and turn them into something new. So taking an old chandelier and making it into a necklace or earrings, or taking an old key, an old piece of hardware, something that somebody might look at and be like, wow, you're going to make a piece of jewelry out of that? Yes, I am. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it the best I can and make it something that hopefully will make someone feel loved when they wear it. So it kind of has been, I guess the name has been functional for me in a lot of ways, as a writer, as someone who appreciates a good story, as someone who believes in the power of sharing our story with someone else, and just bringing in that old story and making something new out of it when you create a piece from an older element. So that's it.
I think that is exactly why I love that chandelier piece necklace, because just to think that piece of glass has seen so many different things that I don't even know or haven't ever seen. Plus it's from the 40s, which is one of my most favorite eras.
You're here, Rachel.
Yeah. But it's like, it was just, it's just beautiful. And for me too, our whole culture is built on stories, and it's not just the stories that are passed down in jewelry, but really it can really stop, the stories of our culture can really stop women from stepping into who they want to be. And that's the other thing when reading the stuff that you had written, is really helping women step into their life and live in a way that is free with expression, and not having to have those things that are holding us back. The other thing is that you said, my work, like me, won't be for everyone. If you're a female entrepreneur, please listen to these words carefully, because there are none truer spoke. But it will matter to those who truly connect with my designs, and that is enough for me. I'm telling you, it needs to be enough. If we want everyone to like us, not everyone will enjoy Rachel Freeman Sowers. I can guarantee you, because you told me. Right? But that's okay, because I'm not for everyone. And I would rather to have people know that, and to know that you and I connected on such a deep level. Even when we first met, it was almost like, that is what I want. Those are the women I want to serve. And to understand that and be okay with it is one of the most freeing things a female entrepreneur can understand.
Right.
So tell me what it has been the number one hardest thing and the best part of owning your business.
I think for me, the hardest part is feeling like there's so many things I want to do, Rachel. I have a gazillion ideas in my head. I've got a gazillion stories I want to write. I got books in my head I want to write. I've got a ton of things, and it's just carving out that amount of time that allows me to do those things and to serve them the right way, to not do them in a for lack of a better word, a half-ass way. I want to do them the right way. I want to put my best foot forward with them. And I want to make sure that when I do all of those things, that it's done the right way. I think that is probably the hardest thing, is figuring out how to be tech guru, writer, designer, cleanup crew, display crew. It's like all of these different things that you have to be marketing professional, figuring out all the layers to your business and realizing that there's a lot of things that you as a business owner, you're not going to know how to do everything perfectly. And, you have to let some of that perfection go. And I think that's been a challenge for me, because I do want it to be right. I do want it to be the best it can be. And sometimes that means that, you're not going to always have time to do it exactly the way you want, but you can get it as close to possible as you can. And even when it's not perfect in your eyes, someone sees your humanity in that. Maybe that's the point, that somebody gets to connect with you and says, wow, that was just, I loved how she was honest, or, not authentic. It wasn't perfect. It was authentic. It was human. It wasn't robotic, right?
Yeah, it was for reals. Like, right. I mean, if we just get super real on here, I have my guests come on at 5:30, and Kimberly and I were literally figuring out the tech up until 5:54 before I started that countdown timer. And I'm telling you, there's no better feeling that you have kind of like this support with you. And that's one of the things. I had a client today that I was talking to, and she said, those are the things, they're not perfect and I can't do all the things, but I need to just prioritize those things. We don't only prioritize the things that are so giving, but we also prioritize the things that are revenue building, right? We are business women. We're not in this. I'm in this to serve, but I'm not in this for full charity and just giving my things away. And sometimes women have a hard time with that concept.
Yes.
And if you are a female entrepreneur or a mom, or really anyone that can relate, that you are kind of this one woman show, please make sure to put yes in the comments, because we are not alone. And it's so important for us to know that we're not alone. What has been the best part of owning your business?
I think the best part, the part that I have always appreciated most about owning my own business, has been that my success or my failure, that I can claim those things, that they're mine, that I don't have to worry that my ability to do my best work is swept out from under me if a corporation makes a decision that, it's time to move or change gears. I get to carve out my own way of doing it. I get to, reap the benefits of success. I get to learn from the mistakes myself, and hopefully move forward, with new information and doing the best that I can. So I think it's just knowing that I have the power to make my own decisions, and to not have those decisions, have to be run by a gazillion people. I'm the person that gets to call those shots, and that's kind of fun. It's scary. It's terrifying at times as a business owner. You're like, God, what if I don't make it? What if I have, a product that flops, that people are like, oh, that's the worst pair of earrings I've ever seen in my life. And, and there may be times like that. There have been products I've made that I'm like, I look back on 2 years later and I'm like, what were you doing?
Oh my gosh.
But, I get to learn from those things, or you realize, hey, that material might've been too heavy or too it didn't do what I was hoping it would do. And being willing to pivot and being able to pivot when I need to is a gift. I mean, that is something that's hard to do when you're answering to a lot of other people. And in your own business, you answer to you and you answer to your customers. More than anything, you answer to your customers and making sure that you're upholding, whatever standard you set for your business and making sure you do right by those things. So, yeah.
That's the number one thing for me too.
Yes.
I fail or succeed. Both are very good things to be doing by my own hand. No one tells me how to best serve my clients. My clients tell me I can do what they need me to do. I can customize it just like you're doing, right? You have an idea for a piece of jewelry, but what you really have is a woman in mind who would want to wear that.
Yes.
Who wants to feel, in my words, fierce, right? I mean, like, just saying. So, like, that is also inspirational. If you can relate to this, please say yes in the comments. Please put thumbs up and hearts in here and let us know that this is really inspiring you in your life or in your business. All right. So the next thing is, the question I asked you was, how have you been able to keep the faith, so to speak, when you have encountered hardships, discrimination, and such in your business?
I would say, I think the way that I've been able to keep the faith is just knowing that, I think just that remembrance, what we mentioned before, just knowing that I'm not going to be for everybody, but that the people who appreciate my work and appreciate me as a person really do connect with me, and that there's magic in that. Like, what I want to do more than anything is connect with other people. Like, really, when I have moments like when I met you, when Angela brought you to my booth, and I was just like, oh my God, I love Angela and I love Rachel, and now we're all gonna be friends, and that's awesome. Yes. And just having those moments, that's what I do it for. So I think it's just remembering those, that even if there's moments when you feel like somebody doesn't understand you, or you just don't feel like you got off on the right foot, or you don't feel like, you may not be in the right marketplace for your product. There's times when I've gone to shows and it's just not the right vibe. And it's not that your heart's not in it to do the right thing. It's just that maybe that market isn't particularly drawn to your product, and that's okay. And I think it's just remembering that there are people that are going to be drawn to your product, and that if it doesn't work, what you can do is, like you said before, you pivot, change gears, and do what you need to do that feels, what feels right for your business and what feels right in that moment. And that's how you keep the faith. You stand on the confidence that you've built in your own product. When you love it, you believe in it. Very simple,
And it's kind of too, we can, as female entrepreneurs, we can definitely get satisfaction from our customers, our clients making progress and loving the services and our products that we offer. But it cannot be the only thing that drives you. No. Right? It's like you and I have talked so many times. If you guys could be privy to all the conversations that Kimberly and I have had, it is about
inbox chats.
Yeah. For real. It's about removing that external stimulation and having that deep within you be welling up and overflowing into what we really want to do. So I, as always, love talking and doing video. That is why I have a live show. And I'm so grateful when people are willing to come on the live show. So how has video, or what role has video played in your business?
As I mentioned, I don't feel like I have utilized it nearly as much as I should, but I always think about, how effective video is and what it does. I think video gives people a chance to see who somebody is. You get to see their movements, you get to see their smile, you get to see them engage. It's not perfect. It's not a snapshot of a moment where you were able to make it perfect. It's who you are at your core. I don't know if I told you this, but I remember, so my dad's mom, my grandmother, I never got to meet her. She was gone before I came around, and I'd always only seen her in still photos until one Christmas. We were all at my aunt's house, my Auntie Pat, and she was having a holiday party, and she gathered us all up and said, okay, I want everybody to sit down. I have a surprise for you. and she played a video of my grandmother that I had never seen her in a video. A lot of us had never seen her in a video because we've only ever seen her in still photos, and not a dry eye in the house. I'm telling you, it was one of those things that you're like, she's moving right in front of me. And that is something that's powerful, because you see someone's quirkiness, you see their love for somebody, you see them just laughing, or you see them like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, because there's moments like that too.
Yes.
You get to see who they are at their core. And I think that's the gift of video is once you get past your discomfort with it, you get past that awkward moment that you may have that probably no one else sees. You just see it yourself. Get past that. That's where the magic is. I don't know, but.
Well, seriously, I couldn't have said it better. This last part, that's where the magic is, right? This is why I love video. This is why I am so passionate about helping women get more to fully leverage the power of video, right? Without embarrassment, guilt, and shame. I've talked to women that are embarrassed by their accent. I've talked to women that are embarrassed about the way they look. They don't feel confident. A lot of women can meet with someone one-on-one, but when they go into video or do a live or recorded video, they freeze up. There's all of these things that really can keep us. The stories we tell ourselves, but the story you just told about your grandmother, I mean, seriously, what a freaking remarkable gift. That you could see her. You didn't have to just look at a picture, but you could see the way she moves, her personality, whatever it is that comes through. These are the things that will help you grow your audience in a efficient and exponential way, right? So you said your biggest struggle with videos that I'm not as comfortable on video as I may be in a still photo.
Right.
So I would love to hear from you. What, after our discussion tonight, or just thinking a little bit about how we're doing this live, what would be okay, peeps, I'm doing this. I'm going to ask her right now. Like, what would be your goal for video in your business in the future? How would you like to do it?
I would like to. I was just thinking about that. Maybe incorporating more live. Maybe incorporating some more quick tips via video. There's a lot of fun fashion tips that are like a quick little something you can incorporate. And I want to start adding those to my repertoire, because there are a lot of fun, quick little things you just want to say to somebody. And you don't necessarily want to write all those things. A lot of times people don't have the bandwidth to read a whole bunch, but they may watch a 30-second or a 1-minute video. So I think incorporating more of those things is part of the goal. Time-wise, as far as like how often, my hope is that I can start doing some more. I want to start doing that using kind of some of the more quiet time during the holidays, because we won't be doing some of the same things we would normally do.
Right.
Maybe build up a little inventory. You know what I'm saying? I can build up a little video tory.
Well, you know where to come if you need any help.
I do. I have a friend. I know a friend that knows how to do this very well. So that's good.
Well, it will grow. I mean, it's undeniably the way it works.
Right.
And I'm proof of that. All right. So what is the single piece of advice you would give other female entrepreneurs if they want to start a business or experiencing difficulty in their business?
I would say be aware that in business, at every moment in business, you're going to have high points and low points. That's part of the beast. It's what it is. But if you pick something that you love more than anything else, if you love what you're doing, you can seemingly take those low points in a little bit more of a stride. If you're forcing it and doing business, you're working in a realm that feels like just a product that you're pushing, or you're, hey, this is an opportunity to make some money. That's the wrong reason. You can't do it that way. You have got to know that if you start off with something that you love, it makes it exponentially easier to thrive, even in the hard times, like even in rough stuff. you can figure out, well, hey, I may have a hard time doing this right now, but what is something that I can do to change gears? I think it's just having, enough passion for your work and whatever it is you're working on, whether that's, working in a consulting business like yours, whether it's making jewelry and accessories like mine, whether it's making music, whether it's, whatever it is that you make, soaps and candles. I mean, there's a ton of different things that you could be doing. It's loving what you do that gets you through those hard times. It really is having a genuine love for what you do.
The love goes further too, because like you're saying, in those hard times, I would rather work 50 hours for myself than 50 hours for someone else.
Amen. Yes.
And because I can see the direct benefit. I can see the direct benefit to myself. I can see the direct benefit to my clients because I am invested.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, I feel like sometimes when I'm working and I'm sitting down at my desk making stuff, I'll look up and I've been sitting there over time for 10 or 12 hours. And I didn't even realize it because I was just loving what I did. That's not work. That's joy. And that if you can find a way to turn your passion into a profession, what else can you ask for? Like you said, you'd rather work for something that you really, really love and are connected to any day of the week. That's a good day, Yeah. And it's not like, oh God, I got to get up. I got to go to work. I get to go to work. I want to be able to get to go to work in every way imaginable, if that's possible,
And that's also where like having a mentor or having multiple mentors in different areas of the business is so important, because that's one of the reasons why I like one-on-one work so much, is because those people move so much faster. They move so much more efficiently. Their energy is really put into good use. So we're not running around trying to do all the things and expend all of our energy on 15 things, right?
Right.
And so if you're listening to this live and you are a female entrepreneur who wants to start a business or wants to revive a passion that maybe you've started before, then I would encourage you to reach out to people. You can reach out to me. You can DM me. I'm sure that you can DM Kimberly and let us know. And we're happy to inspire and empower you.
Yes.
So if I would like to hear from the people who are watching, if something has inspired you tonight, if there's one thing that you're going to walk away from this live remembering and really taking and using, I would love to see in the comments what those are. Kimberly, can you just tell us really quickly where people can find HerStory Vintage online?
Yes. So my web address is herstoryvintage.com. So just instead of history, it's her story because it's a feminine take on history. So herstoryvintage.com. And I also have...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm also on Instagram at HerStoryVintage and on Facebook at HerStoryVintage 2008.
Okay, so I have put the links into the chat for anyone that wants to check out Kimberly's beautiful jewelry and fashion and clothing. I put a denim jacket on and I was like, oh, this reminds me of Kimberly. I had to wear my earrings. I was rocking it all day long, and girl, I felt powerful. I just want to say thank you so much for putting your work out there. Thank you so much for giving your gift and standing true in that, in the exact way that you do it. If you've been inspired by Kimberly, please make sure to reach out and let her know tonight. You can also let me know if you want to send this video to other people or let them know about it. You can do it from this channel, or you can also refer them to my Rachel Freeman Sowers YouTube channel. We do this every single week, and I am telling you, I have got some kick-ass guests coming on here over the next few weeks. I have one watching on Instagram. I see you. Don't and I am just so excited to feature these female entrepreneurs whose businesses stand for something, who are making a difference in the world in their best way, in their zone of genius. So Please make sure to look out for future RFS lives. Make sure to always get your notifications on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. Again, Kimberly, I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm just is there anything else you wanted to say quickly?
I just want to tell you thank you. And I just want to tell you that you are an incredible light. You bring such joy and such goodness to this world. And I'm really grateful to have you, not just as a person that inspires in a business sense, but as a friend. And I'm grateful for that. So I just want to tell you that.
Oh, thanks so much, girl. As I say at the end of every single video, make sure to stay true to yourself, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. I will see you all next week on the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show. Bye.
Bye.